In Demon Slayer's first movie, we'll be going on a journey with Tanjiro and his trio of companions, but the character that has people the most excited is without question Rengoku Kyojuro, the Flame Pillar or Hashira. At the time you're watching, this movie is already released in Japan, but before the story makes its way west, let's turn back the clock and discuss another important memory in the life of Rengoku Kyojuro. Not his next mission, but his first. How strong was Rengoku's flame in the beginning? Let's discuss. Hid behind his father, trying to show him his new uniform. All black from head to toe, with the symbol for destroy on his back in white. It was a uniform from the Demon Slayer's Corps, and Kyojuro was proud to wear it, honored to continue in the family tradition, one where the title of Flame Hashira was passed down from father to son. However, his father's words were cold even still.
Both you and Senjuro lack talent, so you mustn't harbor unrealistic dreams. I am the last of the Flame Hashira. You cannot take my place.
As his father walked off, Kyojuro wondered, is it really the case that everyone has to be in agreement in recognizing and praising a person's talent in order for that person to continue pursuing their dreams? Rengoku looks on as his younger brother trains so hard that his hands are bleeding, that his breaths are quick and scattered, that his knees give in, and he wonders why it seems like you need to naturally be born with strength and power and speed, or else the world decides that you're wrong even if you work hard to try to make up for what you lack. Senjuro, his little brother, notices Kyojuro and is instantly embarrassed by his brother seeing him train so hard. Rengoku tells his little brother that him training so hard is wonderful, and also lets him know that he's going to be going on his first mission today, so Senjuro needs to protect the house while he's gone. Senjuro is happy for his big brother to rely on him and give him such a responsibility, and he tells Kyojuro that he's going to keep working hard so he can become just like his older brother. Now Rengoku, who's walking off at this point, looks back, but something's wrong. He gets a cold feeling and starts to remember a boy from his past who said the same thing, that he wants to be like Rengoku, a strong person who can protect others. This was back during Rengoku's final selection exam, and the boy, of course, was one of the surviving finalists. Kyojuro rushes to reply to the boy with some encouragement, but in the flashback, he gets that same cold feeling, and after pausing for a moment, he does indeed continue on to encourage his fellow survivor to do his best. Kyojuro explains to us what gave him pause. He says that at that moment, he had a bad feeling, a sense of foreboding that the boy would die, which makes Kyojuro wonder if that's why his father had become so distant to him and his brother. Was it because his father felt the same way about them? Was this instinct about whether or not someone would die something that was maybe passed on from father to son? Kyojuro doesn't know, and for that matter, he never found out exactly what was going on in his father's head. But regardless, we return to Kyojuro on his first mission as some time has gone by and he's made his way to a dark forest. He comes to a path in the forest with numerous steps and flowers growing along it, framing his walk through the night. It's then when Kyojuro stumbles upon the target of his investigation, a local demon in the form of an old man, sitting calmly with his hands together as he scoffs at Kyojuro's arrival. He says, "Only one of you isn't enough, but don't worry, you'll all be together soon," as he starts to count the bodies of the demon slayers left at Rengoku's feet. It was atrocious. The demon littered the area with their corpses and even sucked the organs out of some of them as a meal to pass the time until reinforcements arrived. In the group of demon slayers, Kyojuro noticed a pair that stood out to him. It was the boy from the final selection exam, along with his sister holding on to a crying child who was left alive by the demon, but remained in the arms of a corpse. And it was in that moment that Rengoku remembered words that his father spoke quite often. Kyojuro's father would say that death often comes from comrades with whom you've recently shared a laugh. Rengoku remembers that demons are truly awful and begins his attack. With a wide horizontal slash, his flames dance across the top of the stairs, but the demon dodges by jumping in the air and pulling out a flute from his sleeves. As the demon starts to play the flute, Rengoku instantly covers both of his ears as quickly as he can, and while the song continues, smoke starts to emanate from the flute around the demon, and the smoke slowly starts to take the form of fur, as a pair of demonic snarling dogs appear to serve the demon. With a good read on the situation and confidence in his ability, he starts to explain his power to Rengoku. He says that his flute completely disrupts the central nervous system of his target, meaning that they won't be able to move the correct arms or legs in order to escape, leaving them completely disoriented and immobile. The only thing Rengoku can do is stand there covering his ears to try and dodge the dogs and whatever else comes from the flute. But running and dodging can only do so much. Eventually, when Rengoku wants to kill this demon, he'll have to use one of his hands to draw his sword and slice its head off. And the demon chuckles to himself and says that is the exact moment that this battle will be won. As the demon dogs rush their way towards Rengoku, he thinks about the ones who came before him that were also placed in this exact situation. The ones who already lost their lives to this demon, that history is gonna forget because they didn't slay the most demons or advance to the rank of Hashira. Rengoku thinks that life is a series of decisions where you never have unlimited options or unlimited time to think. But what you choose to do in those instances where time is up and you have to act defines the kind of person that you are. For these fallen demon slayers, they decided to stay and defend the children that the demon was trying to eat. But they didn't decide to stay and defend those children for the sake of earning praise. They did it because it felt like what they had to do, because their dedication to saving a life was stronger than their natural talent or ability. Some would think of these poor souls as weaklings, as sacrifices, but not Rengoku. Even through sacrifice, even through failure, his friends were helpful. His friends were right. Rengoku slashes through both of the demon dogs, and as the demon is left confused as to how Rengoku is still able to control his body, Rengoku's searing hot blade removes the demon's head as he's engulfed by a lion of flames that surrounds our hero. But how? What happened? The demon realizes his fatal mistake. He didn't notice at first, but when Kyojuro put his hands against his ears to block out the flute's sound, he actually did so with enough speed and force to completely rupture his own eardrums. By ruining his own hearing, Rengoku was able to completely counter the flute's effects, but he wouldn't have known to do this if it wasn't for his fallen comrades. As they passed away, they used the little bit of control that they could muster over their bodies and used sign language to reveal the demon's ability to whichever demon slayer came upon the scene next. Even in death, they never gave up on the hopes that someone would come slay the demon using their advice. And as Rengoku takes the only surviving child into his arms so he can carry her away to safety, he takes a moment to thank his fallen friends. Thank you. Thanks to you, I saved a life. Thank you for fighting to the very end to save lives other than your own. Thank you for your help. I vow to someday become admirable like you. Now that is the end of the special Rengoku focused chapter of Demon Slayer that was released a few weeks ago in order to promote the movie. But what can we take away from it? Well, first off, it was really cool being able to see more of Rengoku since of course the manga is over now and it's been a while since we've really seen him in action. The choice of us seeing his first mission I think was a really good one because of course it gives us insight into the kind of person that Rengoku was at the start of his journey, and it also shows us that even back then he had a different way of viewing things, like how he views the value of a person and how he sees those that sacrifice their lives in order to make sure that others can live. Rengoku saves just one life here on his first mission, and I think that's honestly a beautiful parallel to all the lives that he's going to save in his mission during Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer Infinity Train. There, he's going to be putting everything on the line to help Tanjiro and his crew on a very mysterious and dangerous train ride, so be ready to see more of him and his backstory when that launches at some point. Who knows? I wish I knew or had a sponsor that could be like, hey, tell them this is when it's coming out, but I don't, so I'm sorry. I don't know when it's coming out either, but please soon, please. I don't even need the dub. Just give me the sub, please. Like if you feel me. But also let me know if you would like me to tell the story of what's going on in the movie, because the movie is taking too long to come out. I did promise you guys more Demon Slayer content, and here we are. So let me know if you want more by getting this video to 2,000 likes. And for now, this is Pineapple. I'll see you guys later. Peace.